You know, some people age like a fine wine, and some people age like a can of special brew left on a hot windowsill. Whichever one you are, get ready to talk about those pesky little emotions of yours, because it's time for another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings. Please welcome your host, Sam Lake. It was me the whole time. Get out your blotting papers, you big
I don't like them ditties, but I don't like that drag race.
I actually quite love breasts.
Really?
Love a nice hefty set of naturals.
Why?
I just think there's something nice about them. Do you not think they add something to a room?
No, I like the fact that we can compliment ladies' breasts without it being creepy.
We're complimenting them aesthetically.
Yeah.
Not in like a...
Yeah. Put some newspaper down, because I'm going to go near them puppies. God, I got my sass going now.
That was something.
What? Yeah, no, I had to do the fucking accent as well. The fucking proper oh yeah. Do you not like it? I like writing these lines sometimes though. Like fucking, what's it called? What was the other one? So there's put some newspaper down because she brought some puppies. What's the other one? Oh, I better. Can somebody give me some hand sanitizer, because I'm about to hand you your ass. Like,
and they want to be cleanly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Victoria Wood used to have a nice saying where she'd come out as her Jane McDonald character,
right, and
pretend that she just had sex with the man who's playing a piano, and then she'd like cover herself up and go like, "Don't worry, the baps are back in the bread bin."
That's a good line.
I like that.
Also, I do like the going on dressed like that, because I sometimes wear like American football tops, but I don't obviously have the American football top gear.
I was going to say, do you wear the full shoulders and
Yeah. No. Maybe when I'm stressed. But when I wear that, I do look as if I've just banged the captain of the football team.
And why shouldn't you?
Well, because I don't think I could.
Do you think when you have sex with the captain of the football team, he does it the same way that he would do it on the pitch?
What, a home run?
I don't know. We've gone too far into a conversation about sport, and I don't know.
We're not qualified for this. Although
he touches down from the 40-yard line.
You know what? Is somebody wearing someone else's clothes after like a one-night stand? That is weird. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you see in movies and then
if she puts on like his shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
I've gone out with my partner now 2 years, and I don't like him wearing my clothes particularly. Like a hoodie or something, yeah, but...
Yeah, that's all I would think though, a hoodie.
Yeah, but like if you put on somebody's like t-shirt or sportswear, wouldn't that, you not find that weird?
Not their t-shirt or sportswear.
You not find that weird?
I don't know. I borrow stuff from my husband sometimes.
Would your husband wear your sports gear?
What? Sports gear?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was a bit like, what's it called? What are you doing with my Pilates top?
It's reformer today and I need my halter. No, he doesn't. I own a jock strap. That's the closest I have.
Do you own a jock strap?
Yeah, just for... I feel... Have we started recording? Great. Okay. Okay. Hello, welcome to the pod. My guest is Larry Dean.
This is not the topic we picked,
We're just being a bit gay for just a little bit. Let us have this. I think gay men have a different relationship to underwear and things than straight men.
Yeah.
And I went through a phase when I was maybe like early 20s, so I've been out for a little bit, of buying like gay underwear.
Right.
Because I thought that's what you had to wear, like when you went to like gay clubs and stuff.
Aye.
In case you pulled, which I did sometimes.
Yeah.
So I would buy that. Now I look back at some of that underwear and I go like, it's uncomfortable and it looks silly.
Yeah, I've never got this fucking thing of like jock straps. I think that just even when someone pulls their trousers down, in the middle of sex, and I see a jock strap, I'm like, what? I can't believe you left the house with that.
Yeah, it's just wrapping.
Yeah, you know what it always makes me think of? You know that wrapping you get round like fancy cakes, like that ribbon stuff. That you think, well, what was the point of that? So yeah,
appropriate use of the word cake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to my death. Yeah, I don't see the point of it at all, because it's like, it leaves no filtration between your bum and your trousers when you fart.
Okay.
So if you've been out the house all day,
Then it's musty.
Yeah, your trousers are
Is
stained.
that what a pair of pants is supposed to be doing?
That's what I thought. I thought it was like a really confident nappy, because you're basically
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's no reason to have it.
But when you get older, you can buy ones that have like filters in the back of them or like absorbent patches at the front.
Yeah.
When you start leaking and,
But then what's the point, right? So I don't leak, right?
Wow. Someone came onto this pod just to have a little flex.
Yeah, this seat was white when I got here.
First me and not to just openly leak all over the sofa. I'm just going to replenish my fluids because I'm feeling quite dry now.
So, right, what would the point of wearing pants be unless... Because there's no point.
I assumed, and it's probably one of the many reasons, friction.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Have you ever just walked around in a pair of trousers and just, especially when you're older and things get closer to the ground,
Yeah.
because they all sort of like, they get longer because of gravity.
Yeah.
Eventually,
you uppies with mine
yeah,
most of the time,
yeah. You make contact with trow, and then it's like
With
quite
what?
with trousers.
Oh, right, okay.
I was trying to be fun and cool and different. I'm sorry. And then it starts to rub.
Okay, yeah, I get the point now. But then sometimes if you've got boxers,
Yeah.
so like not the wide fronts, not the, what's the other one? Like the in-betweeny one.
Well, there's a boxer brief.
Yeah, those are the ones that like hold everything together.
Trunks, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the boxers are just the ones that are just like everything like...
That's too much. It feels like a pair of shorts.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're wearing shorts underneath your trousers.
Which
but
is
then
weird.
it could be, because I'm wondering where like underpants were invented. Because, I mean, if you've had the snip, right?
Right.
And your helmet's all over the joint.
It's just everywhere.
Yeah, it's just like looking around going...
I took it from the
"What's going
captain of the football team.
on?" Yeah, but that was hard. Because whenever I've like not put myself, like, what's it called? Put the hood back over. It's...
Wait, sorry, can you do that now once you've had the snip?
No, I have not had the snip. So like, I
right.
can put the hood back and then put the hood back over. Like a dead body.
I just thought it was just like... You're making it sound like a circumcision's just like leaving it at the cloakroom and then you can come back and get it whenever you get chilly.
Yeah, you just bring back your raffle ticket thing.
And then you get somebody else's and then it's like, oh, wasn't this colour before? No, somebody's gone with mine.
Oh, you know what I found mad though? I had no idea about this. People get circumcised that are not religious.
So I know people who've done it for like medical reasons.
Oh yeah, I get that as well.
Yeah.
I've been with people that I'm like,
Oh,
you
you
need
mean-
to get that done.
You
But-
mean people who've done it like aesthetically?
Yeah, like their parents when they're a few months old will just go, oh, we should get that bit chopped
Well,
off.
that was the other thing is that when I was freshly gay, I was always told that like freshly gay,
What age were you then?
still in the early 20s.
Okay, I'm assuming you came out your mum being like, hi.
I did, but surprisingly nobody asked me if I was gay.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay, cool.
No. 17 was when I came out, just before I turned 18. But in all of the magazines and stuff, I mean, I haven't even explained what the format of the show is yet. I don't care. There was, in every gay magazine that I'd sneakily buy, they would always reference like whether a guy was cut or uncut.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was such a big deal, but to some men it is.
Yeah, it's not a big deal to me, but it
No.
throws... I found it threw me the first time I dealt with a cut one.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit like, oh, the only way I can describe it was a bit like, you know when you try and flush like a Portaloo and
Yeah.
you feel like it should be like that, but you're going to go, whoa, what am I supposed to do with that? So it was a bit like that because there was because if they're not cut, then it's basically like you basically want to get the hood and the head almost looking like a fish.
Like a fish?
No, it's in that, you know, the fish mouth thing, so it kind of opens and closes because the hook goes open and close. So it's like one of those things you see that's like soaking up plankton at the bottom of the sea.
Very visual now.
Yeah.
Eating up all the algae on the tank. delicious and chewy. I feel like I should say, hello everyone, welcome to I've Had a Rosé. Let's talk about feelings. The show where for 10 minutes before I start the episode properly, we just have a little chat about willies and pants. And then me and my lovely guest, over a drink of their choosing, talk about a topic they're passionate and find out about how it connects to their feelings. You've already worked out my guest is Larry Dean. Hello.
Hi, mate. I feel like we should just change the topic and talk about willies for 45 minutes.
Do you know what? Someone has already done dicks.
Someone did. Who did that?
Sick Issa came on and did dicks, and it was a lovely chat.
Yeah.
Because we talked about sort of like spiritual dicks and about physical dicks.
Right.
And like love and like attractiveness and stuff.
Oh, it's quite a broad topic.
Covered it all.
It helps that like 50% of people have one.
It does. Yeah.
So we can all get involved.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't...
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a conversion tactic.
If that's how... If this podcast was a form of conversion therapy...
I know. I always think I put people off the gay stuff, man.
Do you think?
Yeah. Well, I found that what do you call it? When I did Monkey Bar during the Fringe...
Yeah.
A couple years ago, the owner said to me, "Is like your bar sales are one of the highest bar sales of any show."
Oh,
and I was like,
really?
I'm pretty sure it's just straight guys who've been dragged along by their girlfriend, being like, "Can I get 3 whiskeys, please, before I have to listen to these?"
Yeah, but see, then the straight ones are always who love all of the gay stuff.
Straight women, not straight guys.
No, I find that if you're doing stuff about bumming,
Yeah.
straight men love that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they love it maybe, but they don't like. I don't think straight guys. I always think straight guys are still a bit like don't want to be seen as their favorite comedians gay.
That is maybe some truth to that, but I think if it's like gay culture stuff,
Right.
then that's maybe the part where like people might switch off. But gay sex stuff, I feel like filth is sort of universal.
Yeah.
So people don't care, cut, uncut, up the bum, up the front, whatever.
Yeah.
That as long as it's filthy, they'll enjoy it.
It's funny how that's not offensive anymore for our generation. And then like before, it was like on TV you could do racist jokes, homophobic jokes.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of but you can never talk about sex.
No, well, Julian Clary got for the time cancelled because he made that fisting joke.
Oh yeah.
He said he like fisted some politician or something.
Yeah.
And
then like
that was it. And then he just had lots of stuff cancelled.
I mean, even it's funny though when you almost get like a taste of going like back to that generation or that kind of time when you post something on Facebook compared to Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
So like it was a story about, it was like me doing an Elvis impersonation whilst chatting about wanking. Right?
Sure.
Not the best video I've ever done, but it did okay on Instagram. No, but the only person that didn't like it, that said he didn't like it in the comments, was an older guy.
Sure.
And then TikTok, fine. Facebook, someone said like this kind of stuff makes me ashamed to be Scottish.
Oh.
It's like, but it's a hell of a thing. So I did say, don't worry, I was wanking while singing Scotland the Brave. Is that any better? But I find that really weird when people get really like sickened out by stuff everybody's done.
Yeah. Everyone's done anal. Everyone's done gay sex.
Everyone should try it.
Some people have and they're lying.
Oh, right, yeah, they definitely have.
They definitely have.
Yeah.
Terrible segue now. We simply must talk about your choice of beverage.
Oh, yeah. So, right, so when you asked about what my favourite drink is, right?
Yes, so everyone has their favourite drink to hand to
What?
have for the record.
I had a few options to pick from, right? Because I thought I usually have coffee. So, like,
Yeah.
almond latte is my favourite.
Interesting. Almond milk, not oat or hazelnut or soy?
Hazelnut's alright, soy not so much. I pure got like, what do you call it? I got worried about, there's apparently a thing of soy gives you estrogen, and then
Yes, one spikes your estrogen, one spikes your glucose or something.
Which one's glucose?
I think oat might spike your glucose.
Right. And then I did with the soy one. I was a bit, I don't want my estrogen going up because I'm enough as a bitch as there is, and but then I thought it's a bit late in the day to have a coffee. I didn't want you to be up all night thinking about what we chatted about, and then and the same thing with Iron Brew, and I thought I bet you everybody's picked Iron Brew. So my usual drink of choice is some vitamin juice.
Claire's pointing to her breasts.
I guessed you would have Iron Brew.
Oh, she did actually. When we were trying to guess. Yes,
I would have gone with Iron Brew, but I thought, well, it's like we're doing the podcast in Scotland, and basically everybody loved Iron Brew.
Actually, only one person chose Iron Brew, and it was Alex Haddo.
Oh, really?
And we had a lovely little Iron Brew.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for making you drink some green tea and vitamins.
I'm curious though, because you can get lots of these. Do you have are you brand loyal to one in particular, or is it just like, hey, if it just looks juicy and vitamin-y?
I'm not loyal to anyone at all, man. It usually is.
I mean, I just meant juices, but...
it's usually just anything that I'm like... Do you ever have that thing of if there's something wrong with you?
No.
Like an ulcer or something, and you look it up on Google of... or what might I be lacking if I've got a cramp in my toe or something, and it says zinc or something like that, and then you go, I'll just find a drink with zinc in it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this is my way of trying to stay healthy, is like drinking vitamin juice.
Do you ever? You can get them in Prep, but you can get them all other places. Those little wee shots that are like, it's like orange and ginger and then like cayenne pepper or something.
No, because they always taste like absolutely. If it tasted nice, they'd make it bigger. But
true.
Instead, they've got these little fucking things that are going to make your breath stink for 12 hours.
Oh, I never thought about that, actually.
I know, I wish you did. But I'm like, I'm heavy.
I had a Five Guys before the record, Soz.
I'm always heavy wary of smells. So like, even today, right? So I've come from Glasgow to Edinburgh today, and I had a shower before I left.
Great.
But thank you. You know what? People should get more credit for doing that, because there's enough smelly fuckers out there.
So true. So true.
But my partner hadn't, and he gave me a hug and a kiss. It was like, whoa, bogging, man. And I don't like, there's like a rule in the house. I hate cross-contamination of, I don't like hugs and I don't like kisses of anyone who hasn't showered. If I've showered, I don't
Really?
Well, I'm always worried I'm going to turn up somewhere and someone's going to be like, oh, you smell, like, you smell weird. Like, your front smells awful, but your back smells great. So, like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I've already showered.
And then you're like, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's a bit like, if you have a shower, you wouldn't dry yourself with a dirty towel.
No, what's a dirty towel?
What's a dirty towel? I'd say like once every 5 days, wash your towel. Maybe once a week.
Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah. Fine. Yeah.
But like if the towel had been sleeping in the bed next to you, and the towel hadn't brushed its teeth, you wouldn't dry yourself with that.
Had your partner not just like woken up and faced the day?
You just woken up, yeah.
Right, okay, that has a little more to do with it.
Yeah.
If he'd like, been up for a little bit, hadn't showered, but, was up and moving.
Yeah.
Would that not be okay?
He doesn't like showering as soon as he gets up. He likes to have like an hour or so just to kind of... He's like that proper, like, house coat, kind of like having a coffee, hair all over the joint, having a fag.
Really? Okay.
Saying something mean to the neighbour, and then checking out the postman. He's that kind of guy.
Is he Pat Butcher? Hello, Frank. I heard you've been sleeping with the captain of the American football team. So I'm getting over a chest infection. That's why that came out so butch.
That was great.
Thank you. Felt very out of character.
I know, it's fucking brilliant though.
Thank you.
If you're watching this as well, rewind and close your eyes.
And it's like she's in the room.
Yeah.
And she's cut.
You never got to the bottom of this pants thing.
What conclusion was to be made?
I just basically think it's an adult nappy.
Yeah.
It's a safety zone.
I think it's I think it's friction.
You think it's friction? I think it's a safety zone.
And I think especially if you are uncut and it's just rubbing you're gonna get some kind of like dirtiness or something getting underneath.
I'm going to Google this when I go home, by the way.
I think we all should.
Yeah. Or maybe somebody will be able to tell us why. Anyway, sorry, I feel like what do you call it?
Do you want that in your search history, though? Why do we wear pants?
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, fair enough.
Oh, totally, I don't mind that. Like, my
please.
search history is bad enough as it is.
Come back next week and we'll
It's
find
just
out.
myself again and again and again. During August's review afterwards.
Oh, God, yeah. That's depressing.
Oh yeah, you know what thing I hate is the thing of if you have to go searching for your own reviews and stuff because you need something to put on posters or whatever, and then so it's a bit like you go, they go, oh, we need to print some, we're printing stuff today, can you get something for the poster? And then you go, oh, let me find stuff, and then you go past ones that are not nice and you go, I shouldn't have done this really, I should have just left them to do the whole thing rather than try and take control.
I don't like the posters that have the, when they have quotes where it's like, yeah, they're all right, I guess, my mum, or something, when they make up a quote.
Yeah, that's fucking awful, that.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I've got this weird thing of, I've got a hatred of bios. So, like, if somebody's...
Like your description of yourself.
Yeah, because I'm a bit like, be a bit self-deprecating, or just be very bland, or just say something that someone else said, so like a quote. Don't make something up that someone else said that's not funny.
Yeah.
And then, also, I had a thing I kept putting on Instagram recently about how anybody that calls himself an empath in their bio is not an empath. And quite a controversial statement. It turned out empaths get really angry if you call them out.
I think everyone should have some level of empathy. So if you feel like you have to point out to people that you have empathy, you're probably a psychopath.
Yeah, the most empathetic people I know don't go around like showing off about having really good empathy. They don't even say they've got good empathy. They just kind of do it naturally.
It's kind of like, and I am going somewhere with this. Have you ever seen The Real Housewives of New York?
No.
No. Okay. Probably too busy watching American football. One of them in there, they're all like super wealthy New York women. And one of them said to like one of the new people, I can't remember who it was, but she says something like, if you're rich, you don't have to tell people you're rich.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's something that like people would say about you, you don't have to constantly point it out to. Powerful people don't have to remind people they're powerful, they just are.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like even I'm going to do a great segue here.
Please.
Right. So I was in Graceland a couple of weeks ago.
Oh gosh, I wonder why you brought that up. I hope we've got something to talk about afterwards.
And Elvis's house is really lovely and elegant, but it's not huge. So it's not like the ones you kind of see on MTV Cribs.
Right.
I thought it's the perfect level of tasteful, because usually if someone's like as big as he was, you'd expect them nowadays to have like a massive fucking 8-bedroom, like 5 swimming pool kind of house. And but then it's just really kind of like, it's like a normal big house.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't know if that makes sense.
I know what you mean. It's a bit like if it were in your neighbourhood, you'd be like, that's the big house. But it's not like a mansion.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
it's
a
just
hotel.
a big house.
Yeah,
yeah.
Big house. Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
So funny that you bring that up, because your chosen subject was Elvis.
I didn't even think about
How
that.
did we manage to finally get this back on track? So I'll hold my hands up, and I always do this when the guest chooses a subject that I don't know a ton about. Anything that I know about Elvis is either stuff that I remember from childhood or stuff that I googled before the record.
Okay.
For example, do you know what year he was born?
He was born in 19... Oh, I don't know actually. Hold on. He died when he was 42. 40.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then he died in 1977. So he must have been born in 1930. Oh god! Hold on! No! Come on! Hold on! 3, 2, 1, 4, 5.
There we go.
Got it first time.
Do you know where he was born?
Tupelo. Well, no, that's where he grew up, in Tupelo in Tennessee.
Yes, he grew up there, but he was born in Mississippi.
He's born in
He was
Mississippi.
born in Mississippi.
Oh, right, cool.
According to Google, that could be wrong. I don't know.
It probably is. They had to move around. I know they had to move around a lot because, well, his dad went to jail for a bit and then they moved up to Tennessee and then moved to Memphis. Yeah.
So you just said that. So you went on like a holiday of a lifetime. I saw it on your Instagram actually. You went to Graceland. You saw all of the Elvis-y stuff. Why is Elvis such a big deal for you?
Well, weirdly, I wasn't originally an Elvis fan when I was a kid. I got into Elvis when I was about 10, 11. And then I became utterly obsessed with him then. Before that, my favourite singer was Gary Glitter.
Okay.
And this was I was Gary Glitter fan up till 1997, which is when he got found guilty of some stuff. And
Some nasty bits.
yeah. So when that happened, I didn't know what those kind of people were when I was 7, luckily. And it's the best age not to know about them.
Yeah.
And but then my parents bought me loads of Elvis stuff because I was so obsessed with Gary Glitter. So my parents were like, "Oh, we need to find like a paedophile that married their victim," and so they were like, "Oh no, we need to get him into someone else that's not like a nonce." So they got us into Elvis without knowing about the 14-year-old thing, and all that stuff. Different times.
Yeah.
But then. So they got me into him instead, and man, I loved it. There's so many things. I think this, especially as a kid, Elvis is like wearing clothes that are like superhero clothes.
Yeah.
It's such an image thing.
Kind of draggy.
Yeah, I think
in a way.
Yeah, because like I think that fucking I don't know anybody that could pull it off, like wearing that American Eagle.
Yeah. That's the
jumpsuit.
famous one, isn't it?
Yeah.
The big white sparkly thing.
I did wonder about getting the American Eagle like on my back.
Tattooed.
Yeah. But then I think the problem with American Eagles is they look very close to Nazi eagles. So whenever I've seen like tattoos, I'm like, that
And
gives
it's
a really...
very hard to ask an eagle their political views. Because they never want to talk about it. Sorry.
I'm never going to be able to look at it the same way. Like, because now in my head it's like, okay, so I know crows hold grudges, but American eagles, they don't talk about politics.
They don't. They refuse.
I've got this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one, but
That's lovely.
It's quite American, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's this here? Oh my god, I hate that about getting older. Random hairs.
Was that hair not there before?
I wasn't there this morning. Fuck is going on? Wouldn't it be great if I came back in the episode on this like in a year's time and the whole eagle is just it's just all hair.
That happens to my tattoo as well. Mine's on my chest, but a
What's your
lot of
tattoo?
hair's it's of an angel.
Oh right, okay.
But now it's like a really hairy angel.
What's their political views? Do you not shave your chest?
No.
Oh mate, no, I love shaving my chest.
I used to.
Aye.
And then I stopped too much faff. I got so bored of getting like I didn't shave it. I got Imac or Veet or whatever it is, and I put that all over because then I could just scrape it all off in the shower.
Okay.
I think it would take a few attempts these days. There's a lot of
you
it.
usually do the clipper and then shave it. Like I've got a rule though. I know when I'm going to let my hair grow on my chest.
Razor burn though, no?
Oh, but then just moisturise it after.
And then it's gone.
Yeah, fine within a day. Yeah. I've got the rule though. I know when I'm gonna it's gonna be the cut off point of I need to keep my chest hair.
Yeah.
Is as soon as I was gonna say my peg, but it's not really a peg. But it's like as soon as when the under the nipple begins to get the wrinkle. Yeah. So as soon as I get my fucking moob wrinkles,
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cover it all up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we may have uncovered why I've got such a hairy chest. Well, no, I mean, I can't... Look, they can move on their own and everything,
wow.
so, like...
Just get some retinol on there then.
Some what? Some retinol?
Yeah, just... it's the face skincare routine.
We only think about facial wrinkles. We don't think enough about underteat. Do we? No.
Although, you know, one thing I do with my retinol, right? So I put it on my face.
Yeah.
And then I do get a bit of my underarms, because I'm thinking, oh, if the bingo wings start going, man, I don't want to...
No, does it do that?
Well, so retinol or tretinoin or whatever doesn't stop sagging. I think it helps prevent it, but it doesn't stop it. And
No.
there's nothing that's going to beat gravity with that. So that's why the face
It's
lifts.
stretching for bingo wings, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, you just have to like stretch your triceps out as much as possible.
Oh, I saw this thing of Sharon Osbourne saying about how she's had her bingo wings put up so many times that now her armpit is up there. So now she has hair growing out of her
Out of her
shoulders.
shoulder.
Like that.
That could be you. That could be you. We were talking about Elvis's outfits.
Oh, try and get it back on track. I'm trying to cause utter chaos in this podcast.
Sorry, try and keep this train on the rails. There was a, I don't know if this is true. It went around on TikTok for a little bit, and I think on Twitter. There's a video of Elvis performing in. He used to perform in like sort of quite a tight sort of black jumpsuity kind of thing.
Yeah.
For quite a while, there's a video of him singing, and the theory, because he sort of like makes an unusual noise as he's singing that isn't like his normal singing voice. It sounds like something's gone a bit wrong.
Uh-huh.
And apparently it was because the pantsuit thing that he was wearing was so tight that when he got on stage and he was like doing all of his moves and stuff, he was wanking himself off through sheer friction in the thing, and so the noise that you're hearing is him ejaculating on stage.
I've not seen this video. Is this when he's wearing the leather jumpsuit?
Yes.
So in the 60...
It's a black and white video, I think.
Oh, black and white video?
Yeah.
All right. I thought it'd be the...
Because when you said he died in the 70s.
77, yeah.
It is kind of crazy to think if he were alive today, he'd be, what about 90?
90th birthday coming up.
Yeah. I for some reason, maybe because we learn about I learnt about Elvis in GCSE history because of his effect on like British culture, like the influx of rock and roll from America over to England, and that's why we have, I don't know why this was the example I gave, but that's why we have Cliff Richard.
Oh, great. Thanks, Elvis.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Fucking dick.
But I always, in my head, think of him as like a younger... I think of him as like a young rock star.
Yeah.
Even though he, like, his prime was like some time ago now.
Oh, right. So you think... So the way you think of him is like that he's a young rock star rather than anything past a certain point in
Pretty
his life.
much, yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like there's always this thing of everyone's got their favourite type of Elvis. So you've either got the 50s, the 60s, the 70s one.
Yeah.
I always love the 70s one, like, which is the kind of more of the, the jumpsuit stuff.
Yeah.
Still love the 60s and the 50s, but my partner's a huge Elvis fan and his favourite one is the 50s.
Okay.
But it's kind of different images. But this is the great thing about Elvis, and there's a really good quote by him as well, saying about like no man can live up to his image.
Right.
But people always just saw him as a certain thing, and even like behind closed doors. I'm watching a documentary at the moment called The Evils Surrounding Elvis, and it's really weird hearing about how different he was off stage to on stage. But I never think that someone's going to be exactly they're going to be exactly how they are on stage. But I do find with him, he got kind of pushed into like, like how every person has like a brand who's like who's a superstar.
Yeah.
See, his brand he had to stick to, even though he fucking hated it a lot of the time.
What was his like brand?
So it was like the heartthrob.
Yeah.
But then also the religious like
so like an American sweetheart kind of thing, right?
So that's why when he went to the army, it was like, oh, we need to make sure there's like his manager made sure when he went into the army he had all the photographers and stuff there. So when he was getting his hair cut, it was such an image thing of like, look, he's a patriot. Yeah, that's his big thing, a big patriot.
So was he was already like a star, and then he went into the military?
Yeah, so he's already I think he'd already done one film when at the time he'd gone into the military. I think he'd already done like King Creole or something, and maybe Jailhouse Rock, and then he went to the military, and for 2 years. You know, funny enough, the only place he ever went to in the UK was Prestwick.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So
Yeah.
they've got like a plaque up in this hotel. Of, like, this is where he went drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like, it's funny though, because I didn't realise how miserable he was until I watched some documentaries of how, I knew he was miserable at the end of his life, but stuff in the middle, you're like, some of the movies he was doing, he was so embarrassed about doing, and he had this thing of like, he was trying to make sure that some of the songs that were really shit in the movies never got released onto tracks.
Right.
And then the record company would just lie and they just released them anyway. So there's so many things about him that you go, I can... Because, you know, like, if you've got a joke or whatever, and then somebody shares it, or, like, you don't want it filmed, but someone films it and then they put it out, it's kind of funny to go, oh, fuck, Elvis had a similar problem back in his day before social media stuff.
Yeah. So do you, in that regards, like, do you relate to Elvis in some way?
Yeah, I think everybody does, though. As in, like, not... Unless, you know, like, I think if you watched anything to do with Elvis, any of these documentaries, you can always find a thing of you can relate to them in certain ways.
Right.
But
is that because you yourself are a performer as well?
Yeah, just as a performer.
Yeah.
But then I think, I mean, it's weird because people ask me, well, where do you get the fucking leg movement stuff from? I'm like, I've always been a big Elvis fan, so doing leg movement stuff on stage, I'm like, yeah, it's just basically me doing an Elvis impersonation.
He did famously have legs. It's the legs and the 14-year-old. That's the two things I remember.
Dying on the toilet's another one.
That did happen then.
Yeah,
he did die on the toilet.
Yeah, that's why you're not allowed upstairs at Graceland, because everybody would just want to see what the toilet was like.
I just assumed it was poor health. It wasn't the toilet that killed him, right?
No, it was drugs. And although there is a theory that he had a bad fall about 4 years before, and he like split his head open on the side of the bath.
Fuck.
And then some doctor said that he thinks if the brain fluid starts going into the blood, then it causes like lots of problems, like, you know, clogging of the heart, kind of like tiredness, all that kind of stuff. And he says that he thinks that Elvis might have actually like had a bit of brain damage, and then that meant the rest of his body started failing, so it slowly killed him. But yeah, when he died in the toilet, it was drug problems, heart stopped, and he died before he fell off the toilet, as in he'd been died for a while.
On the toilet, and then his body fell off it.
Yeah.
I see. But there is literally a Saturday Night Live sketch where they invented a toilet that ejects you from the toilet seat in case you die on the toilet. So in your dying moments, you can hit an eject button that flings you into a different room. Because if you die on the toilet, people are going to assume that you shat yourself to death. And how does that make you feel?
Do you ever have that fear of dying on the toilet or dying in like...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. In my show this year at the Fringe, there's a bit where I talk about me and my husband went on honeymoon last year.
Yeah.
And we were in a hotel in New York, and the fire alarm went off just before we went to bed. But like people started running out of their rooms, so we thought the building was actually on fire. And I was on the toilet as it was all happening. And I had to think to myself, like, do I have enough time to wipe before I go down the fire escape? And I did.
You gotta get yourself a pair of those underpants, by the way. Those will help you in times like that. You go, don't worry, I've got my safety zone.
Bad day for a jock. Yeah. Yeah. So, just unbelievably, we're nearly run out of time.
We've hardly talked about Elvis.
We've hardly talked about Elvis. If you had to like sum up what he meant to you, like in your life, because you got into him when he was like younger, when you were younger, sorry.
Yeah.
And it seems like you've been a fan of his since then, and you relate to him when you see him in the documentary and things like that. Like, how would you sum up how you feel about Elvis?
Oh, man, you're all about this fucking feeling stuff, innit?
You only have to... Oh, sorry, I was about to say something and then I thought I was going to say you only have to go as deep as you want to.
Oh, okay, there we are. That's more like it. That's the sum I know. How does Elvis make me feel? Inspired, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's nice. Like, I think there's lots of things about Elvis that's so interesting, but I think the fact that he inspired not just in the way of, oh, look at him, he performed to so many people.
Yeah.
But also like learning from his mistakes, as in like you can see what mistakes he made and how it affected him, and go actually.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Yeah.
the thing about Elvis was he was like king of the world, but he almost like had to sell his soul for that. So that meant he died, obviously, like since he died so young, and he had quite a sad life.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you go, all right, well actually, look at someone like Elvis would be most performers' dream career. And then if you look a bit deeper, you get to go, oh, actually, it might not be worth all the sacrifices he had to make. So you kind of got to
Very
think middle ground.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a good enough feeling?
That was a lovely little tip to end on.
Okay.
Very nice. Before we let you go, do we have time? We have time. There's one final thing that we'll do. It's called Quickfire Feelings. I'm just going
I'm
to...
so bad with feelings. Okay,
That's
cool.
fine. Well, you'll see... That doesn't really matter. I've got a list of random things. I just need you to very quickly tell me how they make you feel.
Okay.
First thing, and we ask everybody this, dark chocolate, how do you feel about it?
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, I love dark
In the
chocolate.
love camp, very interesting. Twinks.
Twinks. Oh, suspicious. I can't, you know what? Because Twinks, you just like lately, right? I remember back in my day, Twinks were just pretty boys.
They're cheekier now.
But yeah, Twinks now just have this fucking attitude problem, and it's like just because one thing that's fucking beautiful, by the way, what I've loved, a couple of Twinks who were really mean to me back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Now have lost their looks, and then they get in touch and apologise because they now know that like looks aren't everything. You can't just be mean to people your whole life.
Yeah.
And so my advice for Twinks is be nice to people now, because it's going to save you
Before
a lot
you lose it.
Yeah, it's going to save you a lot of emails apologising after.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Must be lucky not have to develop a sense of humour like some of us.
Yeah. So it's especially because I don't know if they're going to be mean.
Finally, how do you feel about that pole vaulter from the Paris Olympics that knocked the bar off the thing with his willy?
Oh, how do I feel about him? I've got to go. My feelings are not appropriate.
They've heard a Gary Glitter fan, is he?
My feelings about him, I wouldn't even say it's not jealousy, because I feel so sorry for him. I feel empathy for him.
Lovely, because you're an empath.
Oh, don't even get me started. No, you know what it is? I find I'm like, imagine the thing that everybody says is great, and everyone gives a good thumbs up to, and then that's the thing that stops you getting like a gold medal or whatever. I feel so bad for him, man. That'd be horrible.
Bless him, that's a very kind take to have, I
Like,
think.
my massive dick has got in the way of so many good gigs.
I can imagine.
People like, I'm doing facial expressions and leg movements, and they're just too busy looking at that thing flapping about, knocking people's eyes out.
I have the same thing, but with my big, huge jugs. So. Thank
Wrinkly.
You. My wrinkly big jugs. Thank you so much for coming to do the podcast.
Thanks
Have
for
you had
having us,
fun?
Yeah, but a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
It's been utter chaos, but
Utter chaos, but loved it.
It's been so much fun.
Before you let go, anything you want to plug? You're about to go on tour.
Yeah, I am touring from September to next April.
Lovely.
So, yeah,
we will
I'm
link
all
to
over
that
the place.
somewhere in whatever is below wherever you're watching this.
Thank you.
You can follow the pod at I've Had a Rosé, and we'll see you again for another episode very soon. Goodbye.